Well, good afternoon, everyone. This is Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this October 13th, 2023. I'm hoping everybody's having a great Friday out there so far. Hope everybody has a great Friday afternoon. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well and also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Okay, in today's video, we're going to be talking about the tropics here. As you can see here is Tropical Storm Sean, located right here in the Central Tropical Atlantic. Look very poorly organized. We're going to be discussing that. Also, we're going to be talking about this tropical wave here. Look like it may make a long track run toward the Caribbean Sea later on down the road there through the latter part of next week. It should be approaching the Leeward Islands. Also, we got a cold front extending from the Gulf of Mexico all the way over to this area of low pressure here, spinning here, expected. We have a little upper level low spinning up here in the northeastern United States over New Brunswick. Storms also extending over here in portions of the northeastern Central Tropical Atlantic, extending down to another cold front down in the Tropical Atlantic. Sean is headed straight for this cold front, so Sean should be knocked out in the next few days, and we shouldn't have to worry about Sean. All right, I think the little tropical wave here has a little development here over there in that region. We have more tropical waves moving across South America and also into the Central America region as well. So we got a little upper level bringing some showers and storm, maybe a little bit of severe weather as well. We'll be discussing that in today's video as well. Alright, if you're a new viewer and you have not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and consider subscribing. Love to have you. Also like these videos, share these videos, and like I say, once again, go ahead and consider subscribing if you have not. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button before you leave this video. Alright. Well, let's go ahead and continue to get the weather forecast on down the road here. We're going to go ahead and get the show on the road. And let's finish up the forecast. We're going to start talking about Tropical Storm Sean. Alright, here's the satellite imagery for Tropical Storm Sean. Sean is pretty well getting a little better organized, but still kind of poorly organized. He tried to get it organized, and he falls apart because he's having a hard time with wind shear to the north and that cold front coming down towards him, and he's moving toward the cold front and wind shear trying to kind of tear him apart. Because you can see the center spinning right here. Most of the activity is off to the northeast of the center and also to the south of the center as well. Alright, let's take a look at we're going to take a look at the forecast cone from the National Hurricane Center on Tropical Storm Sean. So that way you get a chance to see which way he is moving. Okay, here we go. Alright, here's the 11 a.m. advisory. This is the wind field in the yellow. That's tropical storm force wind. Sean is located near latitude 14.6 north, longitude 41.7 west. Maximum sustained winds are near 40 miles an hour with higher gusts, moving into the west-northwest at 12 miles an hour. And it's classified as tropical storm. Winds of 39 to 73 miles per hour. And it remains a tropical storm today. And then on Saturday it becomes a depression, and then there's a remnant low as it moves into that frontal boundary that I just showed you on the satellite imagery there. Alright, let's take a look at the forecast models. Okay, as you can see here, here's the center of the storm here. Just and these lines are pretty well compacted here, all the way through about 72 hours out, and even 96 hours out as well. Just only one takes a little further to the north. It moves off to the west-northwest, then kind of turns back to the west, and then, like I said, it kind of runs into that frontal boundary we seen on the satellite imagery at the beginning of this broadcast. All right, now let's move on to the intensity guidance of the system. As you can see, it's got 35 knot winds equal to 40 miles per hour. Tropical storm status. Keeps it a tropical storm for about another 24 hours, then 36 hours, drops it off into a depression. There's a couple models still tries to hang on to a tropical storm. There's a couple that tried to shoot up to a hurricane, but I don't believe that. That's the outlier. This is an outlier too, so we're gonna stick with just a tropical depression. And I do agree with this here that it will just remain a tropical depression. All right, now let's move on to Invest 94L. This looks to become, this is the long track little tropical wave. It's going to move across the tropics. You can see here is the tropical wave, looking kind of a little bit better defined, but it's still poorly organized this afternoon. Got convection off to the northwest, got convection off to the east. Do not have a close time, been remain Invest 94L. All right, let's take a look at some information on 94L. Let's move on to the forecast models. Pretty well compacted through about 96 to 72 hours out. Even up to 120 hours out, they're pretty well compacted, going straight forward westward, heading toward the Windward Island. This is South America to the south, the open tropical Atlantic waters to the north. The islands are not in the range yet, so you can see them, but you can only see South America, the northeastern portion of South America. But there is the models here. It's getting pretty close to South America. One of them is, and then the other one a little bit further to the north. But we'll keep an eye on that and see what happens. So just stay tuned with me, and I'll continue to track this system as it continues to roll westward. All right, let's take a look at the intensity guidance. But I do still expect this thing to become a tropical storm. It may become a tropical storm within the next 24 to 36 hours, and maybe even 48 hours out down the road. So we'll just keep an eye on this here, and some even takes it up to a Category 2 hurricane, almost a Category 3. We'll keep a check on that there and see what happens. But I do expect this system should become Tropical Storm Tammy sometime next week. So we'll continue to monitor the forecast and see what happens in that department. Okay, that's your tropical update. Now let's take a look at our local weather forecast here with the watches, warning, and advisory map for your location across the nation. All right, you can see here we got some coastal gale warnings, also some small craft advisories also in effect for a portion of Maine all the way down to a portion of Boston area, all the way from there down through New York State, all the way down to pretty much northeast Florida near the Jacksonville area. Also some gale warnings in the coastal waters area as well. Alright, heat advisory for southern Florida. Coastal flood advisory is also in effect for northeast Florida, southeast Georgia, and also up around the Washington, D.C. vicinity. We have a fire weather watch down here in portion of Louisiana. Some hydro issues up here in portion of Illinois. Also we have the Michigan. Storm warnings also in effect up here in portions of Michigan as well. We have wind advisories across South Dakota, also portions of Nebraska, Kansas, also Oklahoma, and North Texas. High wind warnings also in effect for much of Nebraska, much of Kansas, eastern Colorado. Freeze warnings also in effect for eastern Colorado. Freeze watches also in effect for one county there in Kansas, also in the portion of North Texas, Oklahoma, and northeastern New Mexico, northwestern Colorado, and northern portion of Wyoming as well. We have a dense fog advisory for portions of Montana with some dense fog in that vicinity. Some areas in that vicinity experience fog is dense as maybe a quarter of a mile or less in some locations. Alright, we have gale warnings also in effect for portions of Washington State down in Northern California. Same around the around the Alaska area as well. Storm warnings further out to sea. And the Hawaiian Chain Island looks a-okay. Alright, now we're going to take a look at the Storm Prediction Center outlook for today. Alright, as you can see here, we got some general thunderstorms across portions of South Carolina. Yeah, South and North Carolina, down here in central and southern Florida, Florida Keys. Same up here in portions of southwest Texas. Also again up here in Missouri, all the way to Minnesota, far east is portion of Pennsylvania. We have a small area of slight risk over portions of Iowa, and also a little bit larger area of marginal risk from Iowa into Missouri. Also in Illinois as well. Alright, if you can see, let's see, the marginal risk area, this includes the areas of Del Monte, Cedar Rapids, Peoria, Davenport, and Bloomington, Illinois. Let me redo that again. I messed up. Sorry about that. Okay, if you live in Del Monte, Cedar Rapids, and Davenport, Iowa, you're in a marginal risk for severe weather this afternoon. Alright, if you live in Peoria and Bloomington, Illinois, you're under a marginal risk of severe weather this afternoon. Alright, if you live in Imes, Fort Dodge, Marshalltown, Newton, and Boone. The probability for today is we have a 2 and a 5% over Iowa. Pretty much if you live in Ames, A1, Fort Dodge, Ames, Fort Dodge, Marshalltown, Newton, and Altoona, Iowa, you're under a 5% risk for a tornado. Alright, if you live in Del Monte, Cedar Rapids, Waterloo, Iowa City, West Del Monte, Iowa areas, you're under a 2% risk for a tornado. Alright, this afternoon. Alright, damaging winds. Let's take a look at the hail, see if that's pretty much. We'll do the winds first since it's a bigger area. Alright, the 5% risk, this includes Del Monte, Cedar Rapids, and Davenport, Iowa, and also Peoria and Bloomington, Iowa, Illinois areas for a 5% risk for damage and wind. Alright, getting a little mixed up there. I'm trying something different, so just bear with me. Alright, if you're in the 5% area across Iowa, this includes Del Monte, Cedar Rapids, Davenport, Waterloo, and Iowa City, Iowa areas for large hail this afternoon. Alright, let's move on to day number 2. This will be your Saturday forecast. Alright, you can see here's the general thunderstorm for South Florida, Florida Keys, eastern South Carolina, all the way up to portions of Illinois, and also, Indiana, southern Michigan, back to the Rhode Island, Connecticut, Washington, D.C. area. Marginal risk for still areas for eastern North Carolina down toward the Grand Strand region, including Myrtle Beach. Alright, if you live in Wilmington, Greenville, Jacksonville, and New Bern, North Carolina, including Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, you're under a marginal risk for severe weather on Saturday. The tornado probability, if you live in New Bern, Havelock, Piney Green, North Carolina, you're under a 2% risk for a tornado on Saturday. The winds, 5%, and hail is less than 5% all area. Let's take a look at the damage and winds. This will include Wilmington, Greenville, Jacksonville, New Bern, and also including Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. The other areas is North Carolina vicinity. So that's a 5% risk for damage and winds in that area. Alright, I'm trying something new on these here severe weather pays that are trying to call it out in order, trying to get pretty much just get the location and names of the certain cities, and that way I can just read it to you that way. Be a lot better. Alright, but anyway, I'm getting a little mixed up at that, but hopefully I'll get it down packed so that way I can keep the show on the road there. Alright, but anyway, hope everybody enjoyed the video. Hope everybody continue to stay safe and well. Also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Like these videos, share these videos, consider subscribe if you have not, and we'll catch you back in the next video. So have a wonderful, wonderful Friday afternoon, folks, and take care.